Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nightcap is back. It's Friday night, and I'm feeling frisky. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. I am the Mike that likes to mouth off. I am, in fact, MOWM. I am mouthing off with Mike. And we are back here live to talk about professional wrestling with Friday Night SmackDown from Knoxville, Tennessee. We kick off with the homecoming of Bianca Belair. We finish with John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and Logan Paul brawling. But before we even get to SmackDown, we got to talk about the breaking news that has taken the internet wrestling community by storm today. And I'm not talking Toni Storm. I'm talking her protege, former protege, Mariah May. Looks like she is headed to WWE. That's all we got. We have no idea when, if it's true or not. It probably is. We know Mariah May is a big WWE fan. That's been her dream, her goal for her entire wrestling career, to be in WWE. And it looks like her dreams are going to be coming true. Mariah May rumored to be heading to WWE imminently. We've got a lot of different speculation coming out with this news today, with Mariah signing with Paradigm Talent Group, and they have, different WWE superstars that are signed to them. CM Punk, Liv Morgan, some notable names out there. And it looks like it is basically set in stone. Mariah May to WWE might be the greatest news I've ever received. Shout out to Mark here. If you haven't caught it, new season of Booking Like a Mark dropped earlier this week on Memorial Day, Monday. Go check it out. You can check it out. Spotify, Acast, all of the podcast platforms. Booking Like a Mark is live. And I know he's a big Mariah May fan. So I know he's happy. And of course, our frequent flyer on the Nightcap, Logan, we're going to come up with your own unique nickname here for the Nightcap. You're a regular at this point. If we were at the bar, I know you by name. I know your order. I know what you're sipping on. So you're a frequent flyer. You're a regular here at the old Nightcap bar. Mariah May to run back her feud with Julia someday, and I'm hoping she keeps her Hollywood gimmick. It fits her perfectly. I hope she does come back on over to WWE. I hope she comes over as the glamour Mariah May. I don't know what's trademark, what's not. Yada, yada, yada. We know Ricky Starks had to change to Ricky Saints. Ethan Page didn't have to change his name, nor did Shawn Spears, nor did Jade Cargill. Cody Rhodes, obviously, some bigger AEW names to come back and go to WWE, but we'll see. I think we're going to get Mariah May that we know from her time in AEW. I think her nickname will be different. Obviously, like I said, glamour, copyright, that sort of thing. So maybe Hollywood Mariah May, maybe the beauty Mariah May, something along those lines. I could see her maybe running I don't want to say like a copy paste, but I could see them running a similar gimmick for Mariah that they were doing for Carmella when Carmella was like the most beautiful woman in the world. And, she had Reggie the sommelier, and, we saw how all that went, but neither here nor there. Mariah May headed to WWE, most likely. So that's interesting. More breaking news coming out of the wrestling world here today. We've got some NXT call-ups. It is official, as announced tonight on commentary by Mr. Bad News Barrett. Stephanie Vacour is officially a part of the Raw roster. And come Monday, she is in the final women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. It'll be Big Steph La Primera versus Liv Morgan versus Ivy Nile. And there's only two names out of those three that I'm pretty confident on that we could see Money in the Bank. That being Big Steph, that being everyone's favorite psycho, Liv Morgan. So for me, I'm 50-50. It's either going Liv or we're going back to Steph. Steph's got the rocket on her back then at that case. And we know Steph's got a match teaming with Lola Vice against Chick Tormenta and Dallas at the WWE Worlds Collide event that takes place in the earlier afternoon portion of Saturday. Next Saturday, by the way, Money in the Bank coming like that, folks. I have not been able to catch my breath since WrestleMania. It has been WrestleMania Backlash, AEW Double or Nothing. Then you got Saturday night's main event, NXT Battleground. Now we got Money in the Bank. We got Worlds Collide. Before you know it, it's going to be July. We're going to be talking Evolution. We're going to be doing predictions for that. But the other NXT call-up that has not been announced, Jordynne Grace looks like she's headed to the Blue Brand. This was broken by Corey Hayes on Twitter. Steph's going to Raw. Jordynne's going to SmackDown. And I was right. You don't have to subscribe to Fightful Select. You don't have to follow the Dirt Sheets. You just subscribe to Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling Podcast, and I'm going to pretty much tell you the future because I've been on a roll recently. I told you guys when I did my NXT Battleground predictions that I would think Steph would drop the title to Jordynne, and Steph's getting called up. Shortly thereafter, Jordynne would drop the title and get called up. Now, it didn't happen like that, but I was on to something because Steph beat Jordynne. We haven't seen Jordynne in NXT since that match. Now the rumors are swirling that she's going to SmackDown. Steph just lost to JC Jane on Tuesday, which still not over that. That was a great decision by Shawn Michaels and the powers that be to put the title on JC Jane. We're not going to get into it tonight, but super underrated, underutilized, and very deserving for JC Jane. Steph goes to the main roster. Jordynne's going there too. I like it. Jordynne Grace tag team with Julia. Well, Logan, we're going to talk about Julia a little bit later on, but I don't think Julia wants to team with anybody. I think Julia is in it for herself, and I think she wants gold herself. Boom. Keep it rolling, Mike. Yes, sir, Jason. Make sure you go check out 3 from Deep here on Boom Broadcasting every day. My man's has been covering the NBA playoffs. He's every episode coming up with some great analysis, and his Knicks are back in the mix. 3-2 series might happen here. We know that Stephanie Vakura beat Io Sky. Yes, we do, Logan James. Yes, we do. Evolution could be very, very, very spectacular if we get to where we need to get. I'm obviously looking ahead to July now, but with the influx now, sucks that we lost a lot of women a couple weeks ago with the cuts and everything and the contracts not getting renewed. But we knew that this was inevitable for the women in WWE. We knew the NXT pipeline is flourishing with women's talent. And to be honest, Stephanie and Jordynne, they never needed to go to NXT from the beginning, but it's good that they went. I think it helped them out a little bit. I think it helped the crowds in NXT get behind them, which in fact bled over to the crowds on the weekly shows with Raw and SmackDown. Personally, if I was WWE tonight, I would have had a video package for Jordynne. I would have at least had like a video package of Jordynne like leaving NXT and then them being like, Jordynne, where are you going? Where are you going? And be like, I've got a meeting next Friday with Nick Aldis or something. Like something just like nice and easy where it was like, oh, okay, like we know where we're going. Like I think that would have been a power play. Maybe they do it this Tuesday on NXT and, Jordynne's leaving, NXT and Ava's like, where are you going, Jordynne? Like, you're a valuable part of this roster. And Jordyn's like, see you, Ava. I got a meeting with Nick Aldis Friday. Since Nia lost her qualifier, could see her feuding with Jordynne Grace. That'd be a perfect first feud for Jordynne. And I think that'd be a fun little feud for Nia. I mean, how great would it be to watch Jordynne pick up Nia and slam her? A bigger moment than he who shall not be named body slamming Andre. That's a joke. Please. I'm just kidding, folks. Mariah May headed to the WWE. Stephanie Vaquer is headed to Raw, and more than likely Jordynne Grace is headed to SmackDown. A lot of interesting news coming out of the wrestling world today, and we also know that there's apparently going to be some mystery surprises at TNA Against All Odds next Friday. So I'll be there. I'll be checking in with you guys on social media with TNA and all things next Friday. But we still got to talk about SmackDown. So let's do it. As they say, let's break it down. We've got the Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Naomi, Jade Cargill, Nia Jax. 3 big names, 3 core women on the SmackDown women's division battling toe-to-toe for a spot for the final SmackDown women for Money in the Bank. But before we had this match, we had a great homecoming promo for Bianca Belair. Her finger's still a little bruised up. Doesn't look like Bianca's going to be getting in the ring in the next couple weeks here. Maybe by Evolution time, she's healed. She's on the mend. We get a dream match, Bianca Belair versus, I don't know, the Juggernaut, Jordynne Grace. That'd be an Evolution match right there. But she gets a nice homecoming, Knoxville, Tennessee. Parents are front row in the crowd. Naomi comes out. I love Naomi. I love this version of Naomi. You heard me say this on the road to WrestleMania, on the Nightcap, in my predictions for WrestleMania. I said the best booking decision Triple H made on the road to WrestleMania was turning Naomi heel. This version of Naomi, incredible. She goes from sad, crying to psychopath at the drop of a dime. The split personality that I saw tonight from Naomi, the darker makeup, the razor blades in the hair, the fact that she claims that she broke into Bianca's parents' house and went through the photo album on the coffee table. Woo! I loved it. I loved every second of this promo with Naomi and Bianca. Naomi telling, I hope nothing bad happens to your mom and hope she doesn't end up in a wheelchair. Like, holy shit, Naomi, settle down. Settle down, Naomi. You don't have to do them like that. Logan says he thinks one day Mina Shira Carol will join WWE and she'll reunite with Mariah May. Just saying. I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it? Like in the day and age of professional wrestling in this year, you're going to see a lot of jumping around here. Look, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, they jumped over to WWE. Aleister Black jumped over to AEW, back to WWE. Will Ospreay went from New Japan to AEW. Mariah May goes from Stardom to AEW to WWE. Stephanie Vaquer coming over from CMLL, AAA, goes to AEW for a Forbidden Door match. Next thing you know, she's in WWE. That's what we're going to see in this day and age of professional wrestling. Like, there is no reason to fret as a fan. And this is not saying Logan is, but just in general, there's no reason to get in a panic or freak out. Hey, look, did I ever think WWE for Life or Edge would show up in AEW? Absolutely not. He's there. Chris Jericho went over, first person to go. Obviously, Jon Moxley, one of the most successful ones. We've seen the back and forth. And that'll happen for the foreseeable future in the wrestling business. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, where they're going, or where they're going to go. That's just how business works. And that's fine with it. I have no problem with this. If Mariah May one day left WWE to go back to AEW, I'm still going to watch her. I'm still going to support her. I hate when fans get all up get their, in a bunch. Oh, I hate this person now. They're a traitor. How dare they? Or like on the flip side of the fans that are WWE centric. Well, welcome to the big leagues. Now you're in the majors, not the minors anymore. You're not at that shithole indie, glorified indie, blah, blah, blah. Like, get a grip, bro. Get a grip. Like, come on now. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's taking it to the next level. There's always going to be crossover. There's always going to be someone going here from here, back and forth. I'm cool with it. If you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of these wrestlers, you'll support them wherever the fuck they go. Because I do. I'll support just about anybody wherever they go. I have no problem watching GCW to check out Elena Black's debut when she's off her 90 or 30-day no-compete clause. I have no problem tuning in to DPW to see, Gigi Dolan versus Zach Wentz in a first-time ever match between, husband and wife. Like, I have no problem tuning into these other wrestling companies and watching these wrestlers because at the end of the day, it's more wrestling to enjoy and support. Neither here nor there. Great match here to open SmackDown. Were there a couple instances during this match that were a little awkward? Yeah, sure. Sometimes triple threats, they'll be like that. You have a lot of different styles here in this match. Jade has her kind of like, slow and methodical. You have Nia, who's the powerhouse, who you have to work around her. And then, of course, Naomi, you have who's super athletic and can just wrestle with just about anybody and make them look good here. I thought there was some great interconnected wrestling chains during this match. I thought Nia stacking them up for the Annihilator at the end there was a really nice touch, and them kind of getting out of it. And then Naomi squeaking out and getting the win here, which I thought was really the right decision. Naomi qualifies for Money in the Bank. Immediately after the win, we see the confrontation with her and Tiffany, and, it's Caution in the Bank season now. Alexa Bliss also teases that, with Tiffany. So Tiffany, there is a target right on Tiffany's back. And it is at that point where it's like, look, Tiffany has had a great run. She's had some good title defenses. She's got a big WrestleMania win against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton might be in jeopardy of dropping that title very, very soon. I think with the women that are in that match, and depending upon how we come out of these Money in the Bank qualifying matches, the SmackDown women I give the edge to. Between Alexa, Julia, and Naomi, those three I truly think are the favorites for me right now. And I would even say Naomi and Alexa are my favorites. Rhea, great, love her. Roxanne, love her in this match. The problem for me with this is that Rhea doesn't need to be a Money in the Bank holder yet. I think Rhea's in this match is kind of piggybacking off a conversation Monday that Mark brought up about how do you build these matches and who do you decide talent-wise. And I think it's clear and evident how Triple H is doing this year. He's putting in core pieces, and then he's putting in pieces that could be core pieces in the future. So when it comes down to it, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match has a huge, huge, huge weight on its shoulders, because this will make a star whoever wins. And if it's an already established star, it takes their stock that much higher. Same can be said about the men's Money in the Bank. We now know who's in it. We've got 5. We know the 6th man is going to be either CM Punk, AJ Styles, or El Grande Americano, which is nuts. We're going to get into that next, but this women's Money in the Bank qualifier, Naomi, was the right choice. Great match to open. Right person won this one. Absolutely, Sean. You catch Wrestling at Destiny tomorrow morning here on Boom Broadcasting. Part of a balanced breakfast. Watch it with your Saturday morning cartoons. Gotcha, Sean. Naomi's right winner. R-Truth, man. I love R-Truth. You guys know I'm an R-Truth mark. If I tried my hardest when we were at WrestleMania. I tried my hardest before WrestleMania to get the R-Truth meet and greet. I wanted my picture with R-Truth. There was no other, there was 2 wrestlers because I was looking at the dates, and the dates that we were going to WWE World, which was just that Friday, and it was, or just that Saturday. When the fuck did I go to WWE World? Friday. It was Friday afternoon, Friday morning, whatever. That Friday, the only superstars that were there that I was really interested in getting, a photo or an autograph of was Natty and R-Truth. But unfortunately, I wanted pictures. I'm not a big auto guy. I have my autos and everything. I'm cool with the autos, but I would much rather get a picture with them, because down the line I can get that picture signed at a later date, or a signing or something. So then I have a more personal memorabilia item. You know, like I'm not one of those people that goes to the fucking airport and is like, oh, can you sign this for me, bro? Or hangs out outside the arena like, oh, can you sign these 36 trading cards for me? I promise I'm not selling them on eBay. Meanwhile, 5 minutes later, they're on eBay. So no, like I always found it better to get a picture with the talent. And then I was always like, maybe later on at a signing or an event, I could then get that same picture signed. And it's a cooler experience. Because the person's like, oh, this is a great picture. When did we take this? You know, oh, took it outside of the last WWE Worlds. You know, now I get the autograph on it. Whatever. I'm on an absolute fucking tangent here. R-Truth was one of the people I wanted to meet WWE weekend. Didn't get to it. Hopefully in the future I get to meet R-Truth. He's backstage. He has a confrontation with Solo, Jacob, and JC Mateo. And he's talking, is this your son? Talking to Solo, talking about JC. This is your son? His son's real husky. Y'all big boned. Fucking stupid ass R-Truth. I love the guy. Still rocking the jean shorts. Thinking he's Ron Cena. He puts up a good effort against JC Mateo, but JC Mateo beats him. That's all you really got here. JC Mateo beats him. We're rising the stock of one formerly known as Jeff Cobb. That JC Mateo name, it's gonna take some time, man. I just don't like it. Like they could have let this man keep his fucking name. They just let him keep his name. Are they gonna let Mariah May keep his name? That's the real question. Are they gonna let her keep her name? Because I have a feeling they're gonna change her name. If AJ Styles wins Money in the Bank, can he cash in on Trick for the TNA title? Mark, you always ask the right questions. It is a guaranteed contract, title opportunity contract for the championship, for the WWE championship of their choosing. Now, every time they've said it, they always say champion of their choosing. They never really specify WWE champion of their choosing. So, if AJ Styles wins Money in the Bank, could he cash in on Trick for the TNA title? I think that could be a reasonable cash in. They never specify that it's a WWE title. They say champion of their choosing. They get a title match against the champion of their choosing. We know Otis was going to try to use the Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in for the tag titles for him and Tucker. And then the Miz, ended up winning it from him and conning him out of it. But neither here nor there. That's a good fantasy booking, Mark. I like it. AJ Styles wins Money in the Bank. He goes on to cash in for the TNA title. If it doesn't happen, I think you could do a special expose on Booking Like a Mark and book AJ Styles as Money in the Bank and book his run in TNA. Give you some content idea. I don't think he'll win. I'm shaky on it. The men's, as soon as they put Seth in this match, I was like, yeah, Seth is going to become that would make Seth a 2-time Money in the Bank briefcase holder, which would end up tying him with CM Punk, who will be in a qualifier match Monday. Punk is a 2-time Money in the Bank briefcase winner. Seth Rollins could become a 2-time Money in the Bank winner. And I think the only person that's got them beat right now is Edge. I think Edge won it 3 times, right? Edge was the inaugural. Yeah, 3 times for Edge. Mark, you'll tell me. I'm sure. If I'm wrong, you'll tell me. But I'm pretty sure the record is Edge at 3. Cena's got 1. Randy's got 1. Seth would have 2. Punk has 2. Yeah, Edge has 3. So I think it'll be interesting. Money in the Bank's definitely interesting. Seth, though, for me, he's my favorite in this. Absolutely my favorite in this. Even poor LA Knight, who's in this match, had a great promo tonight, but I just don't think it's LA Knight. Like, if they decide to do, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but we saw the interaction, LA Knight and Aleister Black. Aleister Black even said, hey, that was my win, but you're welcome. Good job, champ. That leads me to believe Aleister Black's in effect there, which kind of is weird because if they're going to use LA Knight getting into Money in the Bank to set up a feud with Aleister Black, I feel like you should have just given the qualifying spot to the Shinsuke Nakamura. And then you could have just set them up in a feud off the cuff. Whatever. But I think it's Seth, man. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Seth can win Money in the Bank. But then I also lean, because I already said on Monday, I think Roman comes back in Money in the Bank. So if Seth's in the match and Punk's in the match, Roman could get involved and screw Seth and could very well screw Punk too. which would leave the door wide open for the megastar LA Knight to get the win. Edge only won 2 Money in the Bank contracts, one in the ladder match and one by beating Kennedy. Oh shit, why did I think Edge had 3? Yeah, poor Mr. Kennedy. God damn, every time I see Mr. Kennedy and I look back on Mr. Kennedy, man, I feel so bad for that man because he was going to be the guy and then they misdiagnosed. Like, that's so shitty. Like, I feel so bad for Mr. Kennedy, dude. Like, I wish he would like get a shout by the WWE. Like a Royal Rumble appearance would be so nice for the guy. Like, just 2026 Royal Rumble, you just hear Mr. Kennedy, and then they turn up the trouble till it gets real loud. Like, he had a great theme song. First of all, Mr. Kennedy, great fucking theme song, incredible character work, could cut a damn good promo. The gimmick of the whole Mr. Kennedy thing was goated, and he could go in the ring, dog. Damn, man, what a missed. I feel so bad for the guy. Anyway, Street Profits, Fraxium, and the SmackDown Tag Team Division has a conversation tonight, and everyone kept saying it. The Street Profits, the Wyatt Six, Motor City Machine Guns, the Wyatt Six, DIY, the Wyatt Six. Tommaso Ciampa was the smartest person out of all these guys. Tommaso said, hold on, let's time out. Let's stop talking about Wyatt Six. We don't need to say their name. We don't need to say their name. And then, of course, DIY with Candice LeRae want to do a moment of silence for the tag team division that has now been ruined thanks to these other tag teams. And the lights go out and the Wyatt Six are here and everyone gets tagged. And what did Nathan Frazier do to Uncle Howdy? What did this man do to Uncle Howdy specifically? Because last week he took that mandible claw. This week he took one of the most insane Sister Abigail bumps that I've ever seen. I thought he got his neck turned around upside down. I thought Frazier's head was backwards, upside down, like the kid from Family Guy. What's his name's kid from Family Guy? The newscaster's kid. I thought Frazier's head was turned up around upside down after that, Sister Abigail. Then, shortly thereafter that, we get a nice Wyatt Six VHS tape message, and they're coming for what's theirs. Whatever that means, it means. I'm just happy. The Wyatt Six are back. I got my shirt on. I can wear this bad boy again here on the Nightcap. If you want a Wyatt Six shirt, go to WWE Shop. Use my affiliate link in the description of my social medias. You support Malinoff for my support Boom Broadcast. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, the Wyatts in the tag division, I'm here for it. Why not? Why the hell not? Nikki Cross has a past story with Candice LeRae from the NXT days. Dexter Lumis has a story with Ciampa and Gargano. Let's lean into it now. We can figure out the gaps for the rest of the Wyatt Six and potential stories there. I think if we're going to run this, you run Dexter terrorizing Ciampa and Gargano, Cross terrorizing Candice. Dare I say, maybe we get crazy here. Mixed tag match. Nikki and Dexter versus Johnny and Candice. Then we get even crazier. Eric Rowan and Joe Gacy go for the tag titles against the Street Profits versus Motor City versus DIY versus whatever. You know what? At this point, let's just get a ladder. Let's just get the ladder. Put them tag titles back up on a ladder. Let's have a ladder match with all 5 of these teams. Fuck it. We ball. That's what I'm saying. Wyatt Six, great to have you back. Great to see you on TV 2 weeks in a row now. See if we can get 3 weeks in a row next Friday on SmackDown. Because next Friday is the go-home show for Money in the Bank, and I'm sure, I really hope Triple H does not keep us at 4 matches right now, because we have the tag match with Cena, Paul, Cody, Jay, Lyra, Becky for the IC title, and then the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. That makes 4 matches right now. Triple H's formula has been 5 matches. I think last year's Money in the Bank, we got 6. I cannot be 100% sure on that. Money in the Bank 2024. Quick GTS here. Not go to sleep, but Google that shit. What did we have? How many matches? Did we have 5 last year? We had 5 last year. So we had 5 last year at Money in the Bank. So I'm assuming the trend will continue this year for Money in the Bank. 5 matches, 1 more match to be made. I'm assuming it's going to be made on Raw. That, or they're going to last minute this and do it on SmackDown. Nevertheless, I'll have Money in the Bank predictions out for you guys next week. We'll talk about the ladder matches, who I think is going to win, where I think the stories will go. I'll have it all out on Mailing Off with Mike Wrestling Podcast. Money in the Bank has been a favorite event of mine since I was a kid, since it was introduced. I love Money in the Bank. I feel that, though, after this year, maybe we consider doing Money in the Bank. Obviously, we know next year it's in New Orleans, but maybe 2027, we maybe go back to the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match days, and you could do the men's on night 1, the women's on night 2, vice versa, whatever you're feeling if you're spicy. I think Money in the Bank as a standalone pay-per-view, I think we're starting to get into a spot where we know what the format is. And I think if WWE is coming up with these new shows and they're bringing back old shows, like we brought back Saturday Night's Main Event, and it's been ultra popular, and the crowds have been loving it, and the fans and the casuals have been eating them up. We brought back Bad Blood. I don't think there's a Bad Blood announcement for this year, so I don't think Bad Blood's on the cards for this year. But I'd love for them to bring back an older Attitude Era pay-per-view. My dream for them to bring back Cyber Sunday. It is insane. It is still utterly mind-boggling in an era that social media wasn't a fucking thing, that you could have a socially interactive pay-per-view and have fans vote on matches in real time and make those matches, and the fans book the show. In the social media era of professional wrestling, the last, let's just call it 7 years, okay? 8 years, whatever. The last 10 years, fine. In that era, in this last decade of wrestling, not one time, not once did we get a Cyber Sunday, a Taboo Tuesday, especially for NXT. NXT's on fucking Tuesday. You could do Taboo Tuesday and have fans vote on NXT matches, and it'd be perfect for NXT because that's a developmental, quote unquote. That'd be a clutch thing to do. Cyber Sunday for the main roster, it's right there. You got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads, Kick, Twitch, this, that, pop, bop, bing, bada boom, bada bam. You got all these social media. Cyber Sunday, my match got booked that evening. That's what I'm saying. Cyber Sunday was I thought would have been a huge focal point in WWE in the social media era of wrestling, where everyone complains on social media that they can book it better. All right, let's see it. Let's do it. Cyber Sunday petition. Let's get it. How many fucking hashtags can I get for you guys to get trending? Because hashtag bring Cyber Sunday back. We want Cyber Sunday. Hashtag tag WWE. We want Cyber Sunday, folks. I want Cyber Sunday back. In any reality where Money in the Bank is not a ladder match, could the contract be given to the winner of an elimination chamber? Could the ladders be upgraded to include tables and chairs? This is a great idea, Mark. And you always have great ideas, okay? So I'm just going to keep blowing, giving you praise. You can call blowing smoke, you can call it whatever you want, but that's a great idea. How great would it have been if the original Money in the Bank concept was basically a gauntlet match, and every suit you start with 2, where we run a gauntlet match. A gauntlet match for the Money in the Bank briefcase would be sick. An elimination chamber for the briefcase would be even cooler. A TLC for the briefcase would be really cool too. I feel like if WWE wants to think outside of the box, which, hey, look, it all depends if they want to. We've seen WWE creative get stagnant for months, years, decades on end. They just run the same old shit over and over. If it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. It took AEW popping on the scene in 2019 and even the pandemic. And even then, WWE was still kind of like, we're just going to do what we do best. And we know what we're doing. We don't have to worry about AEW. And then AEW was just blowing them out of the water in 21, that 2022 run. And then that's when WWE, I'd say this WWE that we've seen the last 3 years is the most change to the format we've seen ever, of all time, right? Biggest shifts would be going from the cartoony era of the late 80s into, the grungier 90s, and then transitioning into the Attitude Era. Those were those big shifts Attitude Era transitioning into the Ruthless Aggression Era. And then the most noticeably shift of us going from, being able to say boobies and tits and ass on TV to barely being able to say damn or bitch, or you suck on a, PG WWE. I think if WWE wanted to, they could. They just don't want to. That's the concept. That it is what it is. Surprised me. This took me by surprise. I was sitting here in the old cave and I hear we got ourselves a tag team match with Rey Fenix and Javon Evans. I said, what'd they say? What did they just say? Javon? The young OG? He's so bouncy. Yes, he is. Javon Evans. My Javon Evans. The young OG on SmackDown tonight in a tag team match with Rey Fenix. Tonight? Really? And then it happened. And I said, oh shit. 21 years old, ladies and gentlemen. The guy can just now can finally legally drink. Now you can finally buy this man a shot at the bar. Couldn't do it a year ago. Now you can. Javon Evans, 21 years old. SmackDown debut, 21 years old. That just goes to show you what WWE has for this guy. He's not a kid no more. I'm not going to call him a kid. They've got something big in store for Javon Evans. Javon Evans, he will be in NXT for the next 3 years. Javon, he'll be an NXT main eventer, perennial MVP, what do you call it? Multiple time champion in the next couple of years. Rey Fenix, tried and true. That is one bad dude in the ring. And Los Garza, let me go ahead and fix that. I put a little bit of a spelling error. See, there's my botch for the evening. Los Garzas, not Los Garzas. Too many Z's. Don't be sleeping. No Z's here. Los Garzas. I feel like every time they're on my TV, I'm like, damn, why aren't these guys used more? And then they're off my TV, and then I forget about them, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I understand. They've got a big match. I get this 6-man tag match at Worlds Collide versus Dr. Wagner, Pagano, and Psycho Clown. I honestly really like all these Worlds Collide matches that we're seeing. We got a taste of it tonight. Rey Fenix, Javon Evans. They're going to be in a 4-way with Laredo Kid and the new North American champion, one-time North American champion. He's held both main men's titles so far in his official year now for him. That's all ego, Ethan Page. He was on commentary tonight. He got involved in this match. The feud him and Javon have, the rivalry that they've created from NXT, and now it branches over into the main roster is genius. I am a little shocked, though. I'm a little shocked that Ricky Saints lost to Ethan Page this past Tuesday, but I'm more so shocked that Ethan Page was not considered to join Seth Rollins' faction. Bronson Reed is a good pick, but we still haven't explained the fact that he gave Seth not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 tsunamis. We never addressed that. We just, Paul, this is the most dominant. Paul, Paul spewed his shit, and that was it. We didn't hear, well, after Bronson tsunami'd Seth 6 times, Seth realized that it's better to have him on his side rather than be against him. Or Seth realized the potential Bronson has under his wing. Like, just a line, just a throwaway line. Just be like, okay, all right, cool. If I got tsunami'd 6 times by a dude, I'd have some problems saying like, yeah, come on into my group, bro. You're cool. We're all good here. You didn't crack my ribs, take me out of action for, 4 weeks or whatever. But okay, sure. Good match. Los Garzas get a win. It's huge for them. They needed a win. They needed some momentum going into Worlds Collide next week. And I feel like if there is a team or WWE superstars that will lose at Worlds Collide, it's these 3. It's Santos and the Garzas, because I think they're going to have to figure out a way to give to AAA stars some shine here. I could even go as to say maybe Laredo Kid beats Page, Javon, and Phoenix in that 4-way, and a AAA star holds NXT Gold. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I thought Ethan Page was going to the main roster after this past Tuesday in NXT. I thought he was going to lose to Ricky. Page goes to the main roster. Now it's being reported that Ricky Saints is getting pushed to the main roster. They're calling Ricky up. And in my personal opinion, this is one podcaster's opinion. You may have a different one, but I don't think it's time for Ricky just yet. I would keep Ricky in NXT. I would let Ricky somehow, some way beat Obafemi for the title down the stretch. Keep him in NXT. Let him be the NXT World Champion for a month, 2 months, 3 months max. You did it for Steph. Do it for Ricky. I think Ethan is ready. More ready than Ricky is. I think the NXT crowd, he's over with them. But I still worry that how a main roster will react to hearing, the Revolution is televised on a SmackDown. And that's the big things. I don't think Ricky's a Raw guy. I think Ricky is a SmackDown guy. Ricky has all the feelings of an early 2004 SmackDown guy who's getting moved to SmackDown, like Cena, like Randy, like Batista, like all those guys of the past, like a Shelton Benjamin. Ricky has that same kind of vibe, in my opinion, where I think he's form-fitted for SmackDown. That's my opinion. You may have a different one. But I think if you were going to call up anybody, it's Ethan Page, and I still think that's a strong possibility. I think we're going to see NXT get absolutely cleaned. Shawn Michaels will have to rebuild his divisions after Triple H is done. We know Steph. We know Jordan. He just lost Julia. He just lost Roxanne. That's 4 women. That's 2 going across the board to each show. Okay? Roxanne, Steph went to Raw. Julia, Jordan are going to SmackDown. Julia's on SmackDown. She had a nice promo tonight. They put subtitles on it. I guess she has a slight accent. Didn't really need the subtitles. It was a great promo. She even then stared down Zelina Vega, saying that she's more interested in what's on her shoulder. So I think the agenda is clear and set. That spoils it. That's your foreshadowing for SmackDown. Julia will be the United States Women's Champion this summer. That match, Evolution, I think. Possibly before Evolution. I could even make the argument that Julia beats Zelina at the next show after Money in the Bank and before Saturday night's main event and before Evolution. And then Julia's defending that U.S. title against someone, a Kairi Sane, an Io Sky. Io's the champ. A Mariah May. Let's get nuts here. But I think Mariah goes to NXT first. I think Mariah becomes the NXT standout woman. Speaking of Julia, Zelina had a match against Alba Fire. She won. Chelsea Green has a broken nose. Shout out to Chelsea with the face mask, to protect the nose. Rainbow, throwing some an ode to the LGBTQ community. Chelsea's big on that, big activist for the community. Shout out to her for that, man. I think that's incredible. And shout out to everyone else, in the community. We got mad love for you over here at Mouthing Off with Mike. But good match here. Not really anything to write home about. Zelina, in the words of our friend Booking Like a Mark, WWE is relying too much on making Zelina Vega feel like the ultimate underdog and not just booking her credible wins against credible talent. So I agree with you, Mark. That is a Mark quote. That is straight from Booking Like a Mark's mouth, not mine, not stealing any ideas. We always give credit to the people. So I agree with that sentiment, Mark, 100%. I think if they were to stop booking Zelina Vega as the ultimate underdog, as a Rey Mysterio, and they actually gave her a big, credible win against someone without any interference, without any bullshit, without any chaos, that would go a long ways in helping her kind of bridge the gap with the crowds right now. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. We're at the main event, folks. The men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Carmelo Hayes, Jacob Fatu, Andrade. Andrade El Idolo is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. War is over, folks. War is over. Andrade, man. And then, listen, you want my truth? I always tell it like it is. This is 100%. This was a move. This was a calculated move by Triple H. That was what it is. Look at the this is going to open up a door, man. I don't want this to open up Pandora's box, but I'll say it. Fuck it. Look at the ladder match this year for the men's, okay? Look at the ladder match for the women's this year. What do we see an influx of? Latino stars. What just happened? The merger, the acquisition of AAA. What do we have next Saturday before Money in the Bank? Worlds collide with AAA talent. Do I have to spell it out why it's what it is? Okay. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of that. But in my personal opinion, it's what it feels like. It feels like they were like, we got to put Andrade in this match to make the AAA stars feel like we'll book them good. I'm saying the quiet part out loud. That's the unfortunate part. Neither here nor there. I'm fucking amped for Andrade. I think that was the right move. Mello and Miz got tension. They're headed for a breakup, a nasty divorce between the Oz him faction. Even Mello turned the WWE logo into an M for his pants, you know? He was feeling it. He was feeling it, man. Carmelo felt like he was going to all but be in this match. Then we obviously saw the Miz and Jacob Fatu took out the Miz. And then, of course, Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo end up costing Jacob Fatu this match. Andrade gets it. Andrade picks it up. All the chaos that ensues. And I think between the two here, Mello and Andrade had to be in the Money in the Bank. They had to be in it in some capacity. One of them had to be in it. And it's Andrade. And I'm happy for Andrade because Andrade's taking a backseat to a lot of what's been taking place. Andrade doesn't even have a fucking match on Worlds Collide. What's up with that? In the words of the Hurricane, what's up with that, WWE? You're touting Worlds Collide as like, you know, it's going to be this big event. It's going to, you know, be a showcase of WWE talent and AAA talent. So far, you didn't put some of the most popular Latino superstars on the card. We can't get Rey Mysterio on the card, obviously, for obvious reasons. I think he's hurt. So no Rey Mysterio. You mean to tell me Andrade couldn't get a match on Worlds Collide? We couldn't find someone to have a banger of a match with Andrade in AAA. I'm sure there's plenty of talented luchadors that would love to mix it up with Andrade. We're doing the Javon, Laredo Kid, Phoenix, Ethan Page match, which I like. We're incorporating NXT. We obviously know Steph and Lola are in there. We know Santos Escobar from the main rosters in this. We know Chad Gable versus Vikingo is supposed to be the main event for the AAA Mega Championship. So, I mean, could Laredo Kid become the North American champion? And then could Chad Gable become the AAA Mega Champion? We'll find out. This was a solid match. Andrade's the right winner here, in my personal opinion. Whether it's virtue signaling or not for the AAA talent, Andrade needed to be in Money in the Bank. Every time Andrade is in a Money in the Bank ladder match, he does something absolutely off the fucking wall. And I expect the same this year for this Money in the Bank. You got Penta. You got LA Knight. You got Andrade. You got Seth freaking Rollins. You got Solo Sikoa. That's a miss. That's a huge miss for me. I'm sorry. I love you, Solo. But that was a little bit of a miss. I think Solo should have been swapped out with Alistair. Start a little infighting with Alistair and LA Knight in that match. Neither here nor there. And then the last spot, number 6, will either be AJ Styles, CM Punk, or El Grande Americano. Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? Chad Gable was in a qualifying match last week, and El Grande Americano is in a qualifying match this week. I wonder why that is. Now, Chad Gable, if you believe that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable and vice versa, Chad Gable gets a shot twice at getting in the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's very interesting. We know CM Punk's going to kick off Raw Monday. He's got some words for Seth Rollins. Punk, Styles, Americano in a triple threat. That means there's no rules, which means a Braun Breaker, a Seth Rollins, a Bronson Reed could all be involved in that main event. And maybe CM Punk doesn't qualify. Maybe AJ Styles sneaks in and Mark gets his wish and AJ cashes in on Trick for the TNA championship. That'd be quite the move right there. Or maybe El Grande Americano gets in this damn match. Wouldn't it be some fucked up shit if El Grande Americano won Money in the Bank? It's knocking. Let that sink in. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes and John Cena face to face. Golly, does it feel good to have the American Nightmare back on a Friday Night SmackDown. That man was surely missed. I'll tell you what. I missed the American Nightmare. He's got a new podcast. What do you want to talk about? New episode dropped this week. Great listen, man. Cody Rhodes is hilarious. Talking about them tiggoles. Listen, Cody Rhodes talking about shining peacemakers. Hey, yo, pause. He is not the American Nightmare tonight, folks. He is the American Menace. Cody Rhodes brings out a surprise. That's main event Jey Uso. So everybody start yeeting, yeet. And then, of course, John Cena interrupts and he says he's got a surprise. His tag team partner, Logan Paul's here. And Logan Paul doesn't need to pay his dues. Logan Paul paid his dues with the millions and millions of social media followers and yada, yada, yada. This was hey, I'm the game, Triple H. What can we do to make the crowd hate John Cena? Oh, boss, what if we put him with Logan Paul? Oh, it's a great idea. The game, Triple H, will put Logan Paul with John Cena, and the crowd will hate Cena more. That's literally what this is. This was a fucking 100%. This was a creative backstage. They're sitting there. They're going, can we get Travis Scott for this match, boss? Nah, Travis Scott doesn't want to do it. He quit on training. He's too busy touring the world and making merch and smoking blunts. All right, well, who can we get for this? We got Logan. Can we get Logan in for this? Hey, Logan, you want to tag with John Cena? Yeah, I'm Logan Paul. I'll tag with John Cena. All right, come on over. Let's put Logan Paul with Cena. The crowd will hate Cena more. The crowd already hates Logan. It's a match made in wrestling heaven. Because the fact that John Cena is putting Logan over, like a year ago, Cena would have came out, roasted this man up and down Knoxville, left him for dead on the side of the road. A bachelorette party would have thrown up on Logan Paul on the side of the road. And everyone would have laughed. And Cena would have verbally berated this man. Just cut him up piece by piece. Cut him up. Pop, pop, pop. Now, in 2025, greatest impressions ever. Listen, this is mouthing off the mic, baby. You never know what you're gonna get. You like that? I did steal that from The Rock. You know, Mark, you know it by well, that promo. I'm the game, Triple H. I talk like this. And Logan to me is just a little kid, man. In my mind, I'm just like, yeah, and Logan Paul. Oh, look at me. I have prime energy. Oh, look at me. I'm a megastar. Fuck off. This was literally what it was. It was how can we put someone that's going to make people hate Cena more? Because the crowd is mixed. Nobody wants to. I don't want to hate on Cena. I don't want to hate on John Cena. That's John Cena. That's my GOAT. That is the greatest of all time. That is the man that I grew up watching. From ruthless aggression to Doctor of Thugonomics to You Can't See Me, hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up, to Super Cena with the golden shovel, to now, I don't know, Dickhead John. What else are we going to call him? He's a big dickhead. He is a dickhead. That Peacemaker mask, you know what I mean? It went right to his head. That Peacemaker character. He became Peacemaker in WWE. He became that character. If you've seen that show, if you haven't seen it, and if you watch like the first few episodes of the very first season, Peacemaker, the character, is a mega dickhead. That's what John Cena is. He's just embodying that character, but in a wrestling landscape. Even Cody Rhodes made that reference. He's like, oh, you're going to go back there and shine his Peacemaker, which I loved. And that's a reference to the show because in the show, when he puts the mask on, I forgot who it was, but they're like, wow, that mask makes you look like a dick. You got a dick on your head or something. Like, it's early on in the show, but that's a great reference. And we know Peacemaker, the second season's coming out. This is cross synergy here, brand synergy, little shout by Cody talking about Peacemakers and shining them up. I get it. I see what you did there, Cody. Cody was on a roll tonight. Cody was feeling it. Even the so Knoxville, Tennessee. What do you want to talk about? That had some fire in it. it sorely missed Cody Rhodes on a Friday night. Way to sell the match here for a throwaway tag team match at Money in the Bank. I'm sold. I want to watch it. I want to see Jey Uso yeet all over Logan Paul, pause. And I want to see Cody Rhodes hit a couple of crossroads on John Cena and his dickhead ass. That's what I want to see at the end of the day. Listen, what I also want to see, what I want you guys to see, is my Double or Nothing review. Yes, I know Double or Nothing was last Sunday. I hear you loud and clear. I'm a little late to the party, but my Double or Nothing review with live footage. I will be showcasing my live footage. I had some good seats. You can see by this picture here from Anarchy in the Arena. I had some good picks. That right there, that is my legit face during Anarchy in the Arena because that match was fucking awesome. That was one of the greatest things I have ever been in attendance for live, that Anarchy in the Arena match. Crowd singing bodies. Unmatched. I got goosies. The Rock won't do the forearm slaps. I'll do them here on the Nightcap. One of the best matches, one of the best events that I've ever been to live. So please, Sunday morning, afternoon, it all depends on how long it takes me to record, put all the footage, live footage. Because I'm going to legitimately, it's going to be the footage. You're just not going to get sound here because I can't get a copyright strike on the old channel. So you're not going to get too much sound from the footage, but it'll basically just me, me breaking it all down for you. I'll pop myself in a little box. You'll see the footage, the fan footage. We'll break it down. We'll pause, rewind, skip it. And then, of course, I don't know when it's coming out, folks. It'll come out eventually, but I'm like a month and a half late, going on 2 months late now. How much does it really cost to attend WrestleMania video is still in the works. I'm still working out the details. I haven't had time to sit down, crunch the numbers. I want to actually put out a very cohesive project. I try not to half-ass things anymore because you half-ass it, no one's going to watch it, right? You want to watch a good production here. The Nightcap, this is just me yapping, hanging out with all you guys. Think of this like a therapy session. I'm your therapist. You're the patient. You're sitting on your couch, laying in your bed, in your office, wherever you might be. You might be leaving SmackDown right now. If you are, shout out to you. Nevertheless, that's kind of what this is. It's always going to be just unscripted chaos. Not unscripted violence like John Mox, but it's going to be unscripted chaos. So that is still coming, but definitely Sunday, guys. I'll have it out early morning, late afternoon, Double or Nothing review featuring the live footage. You should drop the price of WrestleMania video when the tickets for next year's go on sale. That's actually a good idea. I'm not mad at that. I think what I can do is, Mark, kind of piggyback off that. What I can do is I can break it down this year in the prices, and then I can do a price comparison when the 42 ticket prices come out and they're availed. I can do a price comparison between 42, 41, 40, 39, and 38. Because if you were to look at it on a graph, folks, I've went back and I've looked at what we paid for 38, 39, 40, 41. And if 42 tickets are announced over the fall, early fall, late summer, I would not be surprised if they're here. It's been a slow progression up every year. Not to, spoil that video, but 38 for two people, 2 tickets, 100 level seats from it's like the 15th row on the 100 level on hard cam side. We were on the side the camera was, not on the side the camera faces. So we were on the hard cam side. I think grand total out the door for those 2 tickets for both nights, I believe we were sitting at around 900. So that's you're talking 900 per 2 nights of each WrestleMania, right? So you're talking 450, 450, 450, 450. For that's great. I think that's great. For a WrestleMania, I'll pay 450 for a 100 level seat. It's the big show. That's a decent price. Then when you look at 39, that went from, 900, that went right up to, I think it was we were like 1,500, 1,600. We did upgrade. We did sit in the risers. 40, we sat in the risers. That went up another couple $100. This year we had 2 different seats, 2 different sections, and the prices were about the same, but we did it the cheap way. So in retrospect, 41 prices were higher, but I paid less for 41 because I sat in the uppers on night 2. Night 1, we sat in the riser and we got a stellar deal. It's all about how you just have to wait and see, folks. And I'll break that all down on the video the day it comes. And I'll make sure I advertise it so you guys know when it's coming. But this Sunday, Double or Nothing review featuring my live footage. Stay tuned. It'll be a great video. I'll try to make it nice and easy, 20, 25 minutes, so you guys can enjoy it on a nice Sunday afternoon while you're hanging out with your families or whatever you're doing on a Sunday afternoon these days. So I will talk to you guys later. There will not be a Nightcap next Friday night. I will be at TNA. I will be going to the TNA Against All Odds show that is in my area. Still debating if I'm going to do both nights because the combo tickets are cheaper than the single night. So I might just do both and be there Saturday night. But then again, Saturday night is also Money in the Bank. So it's kind of a toughie. Anyway, we'll figure it all out. We'll go from there. I'll see you guys back here Monday night for the Monday Night Raw Nightcap. Right here, live on Boom Broadcasting, as well as Sunday, Trick and A. I'm going to bet to see Trick defend that title against Santana. Trick's defending the title against either, Trick or Santana. Whoever wins Tuesday will defend the title against Elijah at Against All Odds. So I'm assuming it'll be Trick I think it'll be Santana versus Elijah. But we'll find out. We'll find out Tuesday on NXT. But I'll be back Monday for the Raw Nightcap. Then we'll see about there won't be a Friday Night SmackDown Nightcap. This Sunday, Double or Nothing reviews coming out on my channel, Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling Podcast. And then say his name and he will appear that night. I think Joe is in action that Friday night. He is in action. I believe the Hardys are in action Saturday night, though. Let me look at the times here. Shit. You guys are killing me. No, I'm doing this to myself. Let me see. Let's find out. Let's take a brief pause here. This is a brief intermission here. We're gonna look at this. Let's see what's going on here. We're already way over the allotted time here. Let's see. Saturday is a possible swing. Show starts at 7. A lot of tickets left. Get floor seats for $80. Damn. Floor seats for $100. TNA might be the move. Let's see what Friday night's looking like. Friday night. Let's see. Friday night, what time does the show start Friday night? 6:30 my time. Yeah, I mean, tickets are still moving here. Tickets are really moving. Yeah, so combo. So Saturday. What time is Money in the Bank Saturday? I think it's like 4 Pacific. Probably run for 3 hours, so it'll be over at 7. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to be able to swing both of those TNA shows. What time is this, bad boy? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to swing both of those shows. I think I'm going to end up going to Friday night TNA. I'm going to miss the Hardys, which is going to suck. I don't think the Hardys are on Friday night. I think they're going to do them Saturday night. Damn, that kind of does suck. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for the Nightcap, guys. I'll see you tomorrow or Sunday for the Double or Nothing review on my channel. And then I'll see you guys back here on Boom for the Nightcap Monday. Stay tuned to my social medias. I'll let you know where the rest of the content is, where I'll be, what I'll be doing. Go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Follow us on social media at Boom Broadcast. Follow me on socials at MOWM_podcast. Bye, guys.